fabled heat, where magic meets desire. Subscribe to ignite the fantasy.
The contract sizzled, the infernal ink dissolving into a wisp of acrid smoke. In my clawed hand, the shimmering essence of a soul pulsed, a pale, fragile light against the crimson glow of my own demonic energy. It should have been satisfying. A bargain struck, power gained, but all I felt was annoying unease, a bitter taste of ashes on my tongue. Impossible, I muttered, pacing the obsidian floor of my realm. For centuries I had dealt in the currency of despair, feeding off the dark desires of mortals. I knew suffering intimately. I could craft it, mold it, and inflict it with an artist's touch. But Alara Thorn, she was a masterpiece already ruined. It had been a pathetic bargain, a man, consumed by jealousy and spite, offering his very essence to damn the woman he claimed to love. Fill Alara Thorn's life with suffering, the contract had demanded, signed in trembling blood by one Thomas Ashton. Cruel, simple, and usually sickeningly effective. For a week I'd observed her. I'd slipped into the mundane world, a shadow cloaked in the guise of a stray observer. I watched Alara, I saw her, and the more I saw, the more the contract felt like a twisted joke. Alara Thorn was a florist. She owned a small shop, overflowing with vibrant blooms that seemed to mock the gray, industrial landscape surrounding it. She was beautiful, yes, with a cascade of auburn hair, the color of autumn leaves, and eyes the startling blue of a winter sky. But her beauty was etched with a profound sadness, a weight that bowed her slender frame. Her days were a relentless cycle of forced smiles and quiet resilience. I watched as she meticulously arranged bouquets, each petal placed with a care that seemed almost reverent, each flower a tiny rebellion against the bleakness that clung to her. Customers came and went, their faces fleeting, their lives seemingly uncomplicated. She listened to their complaints, their joys, their mundane anxieties, offering gentle words of comfort and encouragement. But beneath her polite facade, I saw the flicker of pain. Her evenings were worse. She lived alone in a cramped apartment above the shop, the sounds of the city a constant, intrusive reminder of her isolation. I saw her eat solitary meals, her face illuminated by the flickering light of the television, a silent companion in her empty world. I witnessed her struggles with bills, the constant worry etched on her brow. I heard her whisper goodnight to a photograph on her nightstand, a man, his face frozen in a youthful grin. Thomas Ashton, no doubt, before his soul blackened with envy. But the worst of it was the dreams. Every night the memories came. I could see them swirling like mist around her sleeping form. The car accident, the loss of her family, the crushing grief that had settled upon her like a shroud, the betrayal of the man who swore he loved her. I could see it all, and I knew I couldn't do it. I had tormented emperors, driven kingdoms to war, and reveled in the downfall of heroes. But Alara Thorn was different. Her suffering was already absolute. There was nothing I could add, nothing I could take away. To inflict more pain upon her would be like crushing a flower already withered, a song already silenced. It was pointless. It was cruel. And even a demon has its limits. So I summoned Thomas Ashton to my realm. The air crackled with power as he materialized before me, his eyes wide with fear and anticipation. The pathetic fool. "You summon me, Lord," he stammered, his voice trembling. I held out my hand, the soul still shimmering within my grasp. "I am returning your payment." His eyes widened in disbelief. Returning, but why? Has she suffered? Is she broken? "She is broken," I said, my voice low and dangerous. "But not by my hand. Her suffering is already complete. There is nothing I can do to make it worse." He sputtered, incredulous. "But the contract you swore." "I swore to fill her life with suffering," I corrected. "I did not swear to be a butcher of the already broken. Your soul is forfeit. Leave this realm and never seek me again." I cast him back into the mortal world, the portal slamming shut behind him. Then I turned my attention to the more delicate task, returning Alara's soul. It required finesse, a gentleness that felt foreign to my nature. I slipped back into her dreams, a phantom in the night. I soothed her pain, eased her anxieties, and whispered promises of healing and hope. I did not lie. I simply redirected her grief, allowed her soul to mend in its own time. The next morning I found myself drawn back to her shop. I stood across the street, a shadow in the crowd, watching as she unlocked the door. She paused, breathing in the scent of flowers, a small smile gracing her lips. There was a lightness in her step, a glimmer in her eyes that hadn't been there before. I found myself wanting to be closer. I wanted to know her. But to what end? I was a demon. She was a mortal, her life a brief flicker in the endless night. We were worlds apart, destined to never truly connect. But that didn't stop me from wanting. I lingered, watching her tend to her flowers, her movements graceful and sure. And then she looked up. Her eyes met mine, a flicker of recognition in their depths. She frowned and slowly came out of her shop. "I know you," she said, approaching me. "I've seen you around." My heart thumped in my chest. How was this possible? I began, unsure of what to say. "You're the man who keeps staring at me." She interrupted me with a soft smile. "I thought you were going to rob me." I scoffed and laughed under my breath. "I assure you, that's not what I intend to do." Her smile grew wider, and it was then that I knew. She knew me. We had met before. We were fated mates. "What is it you want?" "Ilara, my name is Azazel." "It's nice to finally meet you, Azazel." The confession hung in the air between us, a silent promise, a dangerous possibility, a demon and a mortal, bound together by fate, drawn together by a power neither of us understood. I was wrong. I could make her life better. The answer was right in front of me the whole time.